Right. And welcome back, everyone, to the latest episode of The Mistaken, our grim yet often slapstick journey through Barovia via the Curse of Strahd campaign. On the last session, the party arrived at the Selenka Pass and, with the aid of Dispel Magic, managed to bypass the pass and also to some extent swore oaths to some of the statues there, allowing them to pass by them. Beyond was a small guard tower in which they encountered a rather unexpected NPC, Ludmilla, one of the brides of Strahd. But she was strangely not hostile and also seemed to be researching a cure for vampirism, but not out of a desire for good, but to use as potentially a weapon and also perhaps to find an antidote to said cure, as well as perhaps a milder version of the cure to remove the side effects of being a vampire whilst gaining all the strengths. There were some conversations here where some information was shared, and Ludmilla said she would provide more information, including the cipher to decipher her notes, providing they're able to gather some information for her. The party rested and had some interesting encounters with bloody bones. None of them wanted to go into his special dungeon. He was quite disappointed. The party continued on and eventually arrived at the Amber Temple itself, the destination for their journey. Sneaking up with the aid of their new draconic companion in the form of Argus, the platinum pseudo-dragon, they encountered a group of barbarians, barbarian worshippers of the Mountain Fane, which they had recently restored to glory. Through proving this, they were able to bring the mountain barbarians onto their side, so a combat was avoided, and some warnings were given. The party used one of these warnings so that they were ready to deal with one of the situations, a group of flame skulls, which they handily dispatched, before Misha was drawn to a specific room in which there was a model of Ravenloft, seemingly the one mentioned in the Featotov Manor by its architect's descendant, Lady Featotov. In this room, they also found a chest which initially seemed empty, but there was a hidden bottom in which they found a powerful magical book, unfortunately locked away with what appears to be chains wrought from pure magic. Yet, despite the power of that book and its potential uses, that was the least of the things they found in here. For within the tallest tower of the model, carefully prized apart, they found a platinum hilt, upon touching which the spirit of Lucian flowed into it, lighting it up with a divine glow that washed over the party. As this did so, Katia feels a stirring of the necklace around her neck, just a slight movement. Nothing more.
Wait,
But
which one? She's wearing two.
The two-headed serpent.
Cool. Okay.
And for a brief moment, for anyone watching, Katia's shadow appears to have draconic wings. Octavian, as this light washes over them, finds a new energy, perhaps regaining some of his former youth, as they become much more durable and harder, seemingly determined to ruin any of my plans to kill them.
Yes.
Aster, upon this light washing over them, feels a stirring behind one of the doors in their mind. But the stirring is almost fractured into three parts, three distinct sounds. What exactly that means is unclear. Greed, you gain a sense of understanding and perhaps, what would be the right word? Poise. Allowing you, and in perhaps the light enhancing your eyesight, allowing you to fire your spells further, but also not be subject to issues up close and personal when it comes to spells. However, the biggest change is on Misha themselves. As the light washes over them, the blue of their skin fades away, revealing would you say a tan skin color? It looks quite tan to me.
More like golden? Radiating?
Yeah, almost like a golden yet fleshy skin tone. Their hair, once black? Is your hair black?
It was
My brain's
deep
blank.
purple.
A deep purple has now become a vivid blonde. The purple markings that covered their eyes have become white, and their horns have also changed color. It seems Misha has achieved a sense of radiance. And Lucian will perk up and be like, well, I've managed to revert some of the curse for taking me on, but the rest of it will need to find what's left of me to fix. Though, of course, if you wish to remain in this form, that would be viable as well. Find some other things have changed. Now, I believe you gain a new ability that's constantly active with this, I believe you said?
I have a free casting of Detect Evil and Good.
Ooh.
With
Right, but
a
it's
range. There is no blocking it.
Yeah, look at it. It is not blocked.
It's not a free
Any-
casting. It's at will, isn't it?
Isn't it the same?
No. A free casting suggests
It's one
it's
for
like
free,
a once
at
per day
will.
free cast. This is at
Okay.
will, means anytime, unlimited.
Yes.
Where actually is this? I just want to read it myself quickly. This is the Actually, it's on your sheet. I'm being blind. Is it on your sheet? Why not? I'm not seeing it. I see Eldritch Adapt. I don't see an actual feat on your sheet for
It's
it.
from the shoebox.
Right.
You want to make a feature on your sheet then and copy and paste it over?
I can send it to you real quick, James.
Yeah. Just because I just want to make sure that I have the understanding of this before we continue, because you might get a bit of a sensory overload depending. This was...
There you go.
Yeah, let me have a look.
Okay.
It
Might have gotten lost during the restoring of my spell because I actually had it on there earlier. Fuck.
So it would show you aberrations, fiends, and undead. Okay, so I'm going to give you perhaps a bit... Oh god, I've got to measure this out now. From where you are...
300 feet is going to be so much.
300 feet is basically the entire temple at this point, I'm pretty sure.
Is it that small?
Undead. Do you count as undead? You count as undead. So, but you see outlines. So, you see the outlines of 5 undead in this room down here. I hope you can see the ping.
Wait, sorry. Oh fuck. Where is? Oh my god. There.
Yeah.
You see
Okay.
4 undead around here.
I'm gonna ask a very weird question. Are there any other creatures in here that are not one of those creature types?
It's undead, fiends, and aberrations, right?
Yes.
Let me have a look, because I need to double check that.
Because if it's only those creature types, I'm gonna make it easy and give myself tremor sense in here for 300 feet.
Undead. There's... Well, you wouldn't know for certain, of course, but you pick up undead basically almost everywhere in the tower at this point, in the temple. But perhaps what is most overwhelming is there is a powerful sense of undeath from this room here. More powerful than anything you've ever sensed before. However, even that is dwarfed, absolutely dwarfed, by the multitude of dark energy that you can sense from below. All in various places below, there are like pillars of black energy in your mind that make even the likes of Strahd look like a mere candle to like a massive beacon.
You would also detect
So
3 fiends clustered together down there, and there's one other fiend as well. It's coming from
also,
here.
that is true. You would also detect You'd also detect 3 aberrations.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah?
But yeah,
No, and another 4.
Yeah.
An easier way to do this may be before we entering a room, like giving the information before we enter it, because it would be like, yes, we know this, but it might help in the sense of flow to kind of go, here's what you detect in a room, rather than...
Yeah, this was just me looking over and giving a general overview that you're sensing fiends, undead, and aberrations. The majority of what you can sense is undead. The sense of darkness below I would say almost has probably it's probably a mixture of like fiendish and aberration and maybe undeath. It's like a mixture of all three dark energies. But other than those, the two most powerful sources of dark energy come from a room to the north, and from what you would surmise based on Aster's earlier scouting from the large statue in the main chamber.
This would be the main chamber, right?
Yes, this is the main chamber.
Yeah.
So there's a
Yeah.
description, since you can't see it. It's basically there are two stairwells down. There's a big statue. If I remember, the description was the face is a void on the statue.
Yeah. And it
Um,
looks as if it's trying to cast a spell. Almost like
okay.
it's a statue of a powerful wizard of some kind.
And you detect a beam from the statue, so there might be something there, or behind it, or under it.
Yes, I've moved that. Yes. But yeah, that's what you're sensing. Probably the nearest undead you would sense. You can sense the presence of 7 undead from a room just to the north of you.
Mhm.
Oh.
But yes, how does everyone else react to Aster's seeming transformation and everyone else's power ups?
Aster?
Misha?
Aster's?
Not Aster, Misha, sorry.
I feel like so Katia's kind of in the back of the group, but also behind Octavian. I feel like she just sees the big burst of light. She can't really see. I mean, I guess technically, I guess she could see Misha, but I feel like she would kind of still be like, "What's going on?" Like, Misha? And I'll just kind of call out to him, just and then like she'll kind of push around a little bit to kind of try to get a just gotta go through a door. Or... Okay. I feel like though, like when she gets in that room and she sees him, there's like that moment of like kind of like stunned silence, because it's like she thinks he's beautiful. That she doesn't think she sees it's absolutely Misha's face and Misha everything, but it's like, whoa.
I don't know what happened.
Your
Able
skin,
to turn it
your
down
hair.
a bit?
Oh, that's better.
Your
There we
your
go.
skin, your hair, what happened? Are you
He's-
okay? Are you hurt? She's like,
I-
and now she's like, are you hurt? Like, are you cursed or something?
Well,
You know?
obviously, he has been cursed.
Well, you know what I mean. She's asking like it's. She didn't
Uh,
actually ask if he was cursed, but that's basically what she's asking. Like, are you okay? Is there something really wrong? Is this supposed to be happening? Are you good?
I'm not sure if it's supposed to happen, but I've never felt this good in my life.
I do tend to have that effect on people when they're the right kind of people and I'm more in one piece.
Do we hear that? Or is that just...
No, that's Lucian.
That's only me, okay.
You look great. If it helps.
Casimir
Thank you.
just gives you a look, Katia, and just raises an eyebrow.
I mean, you did look good before, but like, it's
Why does... I never ask, why does blood go to the cheeks like that in most of you all?
Well, she did say she always preferred blonde, so...
No, did not. When did you say that?
Now,
When did I say
daughter, you need to be more confident. Stop being so embarrassed about your feelings.
Okay.
Well, Misha, for
She's
once...
just kind of like.
Yes, Misha.
Sorry, I am trying to actually get the feature available, but stuff isn't working properly.
What are you trying to do? Exactly.
I am trying to copy paste the text from the stuff, but the formatting is all worked up, so I need to type it manually. And because it starts with an H.
Oh yeah, you're having to type an H. Okay, yeah.
That is fair.
But Aster sort of stands holding this locked book after having helped like pull the tower down. You do smell different, Misha.
That's one way to put it.
Can
What
you
would be
elaborate?
what would be sort of the difference between a tiefling and an angel in the sense of smell? Or a tiefling and an Azamar?
Well,
Since
a
this is sort of like a flipping of the coin.
would probably have, being from the hell, would probably have almost like a slight like brimstone, ashen sort of scent to them. Though, Misha, you were specifically a Levistus type tiefling, so I can't remember much about Levistus, other than I think it's one of the icy ones, right?
It's the cold lair of hell, the freezing one.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose what was, whereas a angel in this case would perhaps have more of a pleasant aroma of something like fresh grown flowers or something like that, like a summer breeze almost, perhaps.
You smell like a warm day, Misha. A nice one.
Like it. He looks like it.
For the record, I see you
about
all
first?
equally, and I there is no feelings, whatever you. Ah, shit, damn, Cassandra, you just crashed. Okay, hold on. And the rewind. She go, for the record, I see you all as equally as equals. Yes, that. So whatever feelings you are trying to say right now, are only of the purest intentions and of as us as a group. Yes, that is the word I'm looking for.
You remind me so much of me when I first met your mother.
Yeah, you're not fooling anyone.
Okay, seriously though?
A blind man could see through that, Katia.
Okay, but in all seriousness, do we really want to be manifesting that? Especially when I have someone for an ex-fiance?
Raise your hand if you don't. Raise your hand if you don't want to punch him.
What, Misha?
No, Strahd, the ex-husband.
Yeah.
Fiance.
Yes, Chris.
Aster, you feel most like Yeah, Aster, you almost feel like a tap on your shoulder, and you get the impression of something else raising its hand.
Oh!
And then lowering its hand and then raising it again.
You see Aster like tilt their head vertically backwards to look at something.
But there doesn't appear to be anything there.
Listening. Oh my goodness, listen. We don't know who is listening. And I know that you all like to tease me for some reason about whatever. She just refers to Misha. Whatever. It's not. For one, no. No. Second of all, do we really want to be giving him another reason to be angry with me right now? That's all?
Well, like,
You're
maybe
about
he's
to
going
find
die.
out. You're about to find out potentially his deepest, darkest secret. I feel your feelings towards another individual are the least of his concerns.
I don't have feelings.
Ooh.
I don't have any feelings. You all are my friends. You are.
For now.
No.
And technically, I'm not your friend. I'm your father, and I can see right through you, Katia.
You don't know me.
No, but I knew my sister, and you are acting just like her. Heck, you're acting just like me.
You don't know anything about
Katia,
me.
I am over 300 years old. I have seen many people and seen how they act around people they feel strong affection for. You're not fooling me.
Perhaps
I have strong affections with everyone. You all are such good friends to me. You've all saved my life more times than I can even count. I can barely count.
Yes.
The point
Misha,
is,
forgive my daughter. She seems to be unable to express her feelings.
there is no feelings.
Perhaps we should press on.
Yes, thank you, Grin.
Young love.
I
Besides,
swear to God.
I'm gonna start moving them.
Octavian's just going to give Katia a sort of look and a smile as he walks out.
You're going that back, Greed, or are you...
back the wall. No, we came from that way, so...
there are
Yeah, I
more
mean, there
doors along the
more
left.
doors that way if you want to.
Yeah.
It's just that Misha was specifically drawn to this one. Okay, so
Oh.
through here, there is a hallway that leads to another door.
Ooh, another door!
Wait a minute, Greed.
This door leads to stairs.
I'm gonna
Going
wait for everyone
down.
to catch up.
And as you go that way, Greed, the glow of your talisman begins to glow all the brighter.
Ooh, okay. Oh, wait.
Greed,
Okay.
remember, this is a horrible temple filled with dangers. You don't want to go ahead, do you?
It'll be fine. After all, we have our own nightlight. Misha! Come!
I can only shine so bright. One moment.
Shine bright like a testament.
Besides, I think
I mean,
this. I think the
There
other
is still
door
more
leads
on
to
this
a room. Yeah.
There is more on this floor if you wish to explore it.
Okay.
Or descending. You don't have to. I'm just...
Best to
Oh.
cover our bases.
There is the room at the end. Wait. That does lead towards... There is a room here which you sense no undeath, celestial, undead aberrations, etc.
As I come out into the hallway real quickly, I'm just gonna pull Octavian aside and just point to the amulet. It seemed to be glowing down this hallway. So I think whatever is drawing me into this place, it wants me to go further, deeper.
Right, we'll keep an eye on. We'll keep an eye on with that. I think it is best to cover our bases, search this whole place room by room.
Hmm. I
The
haven't
last
heard
thing
of
we
them.
need is to get bottlenecked into somewhere because we didn't check. Sorry.
It would be an idea. I was going to say that I don't have any connection yet between that and the amber piece that I was told to bring here, but just keeping it in mind.
Also keep an eye on it.
This next room, stone blocks resembling tables stand in the center of this room covered in dust. Carved into the stone walls are niches filled with hundreds of dusty bottles. Cobwebs hang from wooden ladders that lean against the walls.
Mm.
This looks to have been a potion storage room, but even at a casual glance, it appears that all of the potions are very dried up, ancient, and the ladders that were once used to reach higher shelves would no longer support any weight.
Well, can I climb along the top wall to see if maybe there's anything remaining on a top shelf?
Yeah, you can have a look. Give me an investigation check.
I would like to
Yeah.
investigate as well, but I know
Yeah,
Mike won't.
that is fine. You can look
Uh,
along the bottom shelves. And
Would you like to provide me the help action, or would you rather have two separate?
Yeah. Do you want me to like the help action? Yeah, I can do the help action. Yeah.
Yep.
oh, yeah.
19.
Okay, so looking around, you find on this top shelf, you find many vials of what look like various poisons, but again, they appear to be dried up or empty. Wyvern's poison, Fey spider venom, and a few other obscure liquids.
Could I pick up the ones labeled Wyvern? If I can get a distilled enough alcohol, I may be able to revive some of the poison.
Yeah. In fact, sorry. Reading it. Initially, you read it as Wyvern venom. However, as you look over and perhaps dust it off a little, you see it's blood from a human child killed by Wyvern venom.
Mm. Mm. What were they doing here? Is there anything that may have been a ledger or notes left in here?
No, it appears everything has rotted. Another thing you do find, another one that catches your eye, is a vial that says blood vampirism.
I will.
What?
I will grab that.
Yes. Yeah, but they're again, it's dried up and like ineffective. Like it basically dried onto the side. You might be able to get a little bit out of it if you wanted, but it would take like some, various things.
It's just a more ancient. Thinking about it, vampirism and the amount of generations might have something to do with it. It may give us a heads up on what we might be looking for if we are to try to develop a cure. An earlier sample, even dried, may be useful.
Just as a heads up, James, I can see stuff here.
Yeah, you should, because you've been in that room. Oh wait, as in you can see through the walls.
Oh, I can see everything.
Oh, this is the tremor sense. This was the solution to the detect evil.
Gotcha. Oh, okay.
So it's just detecting them because it's tremor sense, so it's not.
Gotcha. I didn't
Oh,
know
you're
if that
seeing
was
that
meant to
through.
be, yeah, single to one person
Oh.
as a Misha. But that's fine. As long as I'm meant to see it, that's all good. Continue.
I think you're seeing it because you've got like the observer view up. Other than that,
that explains.
Oh,
Anyone who has access to Misha's sheet, if you deselect your own token, you would see it, but anyone who doesn't wouldn't see it necessarily. But
that's fine.
there's a token that I am going to remove because you wouldn't see them. Where's me?
If they hover, I won't see them.
Yep. My brain is gone. What?
You
There
can
it
only
is.
see outlines.
Yeah, but
Can't see
this
artwork
specific.
or anything.
No, I can't
Yeah.
see artwork. We're good.
This specific one, they shouldn't be able to see full stop because I haven't decided if they're there yet or not. They still can. You know what? I can just drag you back on. Should I need you? Go away. Right. Continuing on, there is the door at the end of the corridor,
and we could go this way to see this.
which you sense 7 undead.
I will stealthily open the door just enough to peer through it.
Torches ensconced illuminate a dining table in the center of the room. Covering the table is a magnificent feast that fills the hall with the rich smells of cooked meat, sweet vegetables, piping hot gravy, and wine.
What? A set meal.
Yep.
Okay, here's the real question though. Here's the real question though. How long has it been since we last had a meal? That's the real question.
A proper meal like this probably you haven't had since maybe the Feast of Manor.
But Aster doesn't eat, so.
The institutes in the
Yeah,
Abbey.
the research division.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, there is the scent of wine. Yes.
Are we hungry right now though?
You could be.
I don't know.
So if I remember, and keep in mind I may be misremembering because I've played through Death House too many times. Wasn't there a similar situation when we entered Death House where there was food on the table or something? I may be misremembering to another
there was a table that was set, but just with like plates and stuff.
Okay.
And there was like food in the kitchen that looked like it had been in the midst of preparing and then someone had left.
Okay. It is I sort of whisper back like a bunch of food on a table set out. It smells like wine.
The strongest smell of wine comes from a bronze-colored ewer. A green copper ewer embossed with images of dancing bears, elks, and wolves on the table.
What do you think, Casimir?
Well, if we suspect foul play of some sort, I could try to detect the magic if it is magic. If it's poison, I wouldn't be able to do anything with that, but then again.
I will ritual cast detect magic. See if I feel anything.
I can also do that. If you
I can also ritual cast detect poison and disease, and purify food and drink.
He's just gonna roll a check to have a think. I wonder. But if you wish to do detect magic yourself, feel free. Feel free. I mean, I'm not really doing his voice at this point. You will get a strong sense of illusion magic from the table. But you also get a strong sense of an aura of transmutation around the ewer.
Mm.
You were.
You were.
You.
Mhm.
So it is up to you what you do at this point.
Does the UA have handles or anything like that?
Yes.
Well,
It looks somewhat similar to this, but
Okay.
with the sort of imagery that I described.
So the table has illusion going on somewhat. This has transmutation.
So specifically, the torches, the feast, and the chairs all radiate illusion magic. The table doesn't seem to.
Okay. Well, is the UA like, so it's transmutation? Does it seem like does it seem like it is something pretending to be a UA? Does it seem like a magic? It might be a magic item.
Possibly a magic item. It could be something that's been transformed into a ewer. You just know that it's transmutation magic.
Okay. How far is the UA from where I'm standing?
It's probably in like the middle-ish of the table, I would say.
I may be able to get the UA over here. If we don't want to risk the room.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen? We know where the magic is. Just walk in.
I could gather it with Mage Hand if you wanted to not enter.
I just don't know if there's any traps.
Then check for traps.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll check for traps. This is a dungeon. We don't know what's around every corner. Yeah, would that be a perception to look to see if there's any traps along the floor?
From where you are, because you're trying to look at distance, it would be perception, I will say. You see no traps.
Okay.
Well, that's good. Cool. Walk in.
Oh. Yep.
Walkies.
Okay, walk in.
I will stand here with sort of like letting the others step in, saying the torches and the food are.
Yes, Chris?
Nope, not me.
Okay.
He just wanted to show us a picture of Snurk.
Now, fair. All right. What do you do now? You've entered the room. Nothing happens upon entering the room?
I guess, considering that the food and everything seem to be illusions. Are you wanting to be right by me, Katia? I want to make sure that, if you're following, it's because you want to and not because it's tied.
No, I want to be following because Foundry's being a little funny right now, and so I think so I don't get left behind, just following someone. But I can follow someone else if you want me to.
No, it's fine. Misha, Octavian, are you coming with us in this room, or are you gonna stay in the hallway?
So I'm just going to move you back this way.
I am gonna join in the hall in the
Because I
room.
wanted
Okay.
Octavian would be sort
Casimir
of
to
stood
follow you because it makes sense.
sort of here, just keeping an eye down the corridor, making sure nothing comes out from anywhere.
As Aster's considering it, maybe something else will grab the.
Yeah. As Aster is considering this, you do see the Ewer begin to rise up and be taken away by something. And does this seem a time to bring them on, would you say?
I mean,
because I don't they're visible, right?
you can. They're technically not in. It's just to hide the token.
Yeah.
But
give me a stealth check for them. Just roll a d20 and we'll add the stealth on.
Yep.
That's actually pretty good.
Oh.
Yeah, so you see the Ewer rise up and begin to move, but perhaps you're distracted because as the Ewer is touched, we're going into initiative.
Oh boy.
Oh.
As
Fuck.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's the wrong button. That's the one I want. Has 7 spectres all form around you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's the worst time to get now one.
Why did you two roll into a group? I don't get what... I wonder, Chris, do you think the reason they're rolling into groups sometimes is because they're... Like, these two that are rolled into a group share the same initiative? So I'm wondering if that's what's grouped them together.
Perhaps. I'm not sure, though.
Well, okay. Technically, that goes on your turn, doesn't it? Aster.
Yeah, it would move on my turn, yep.
Yep. Yeah, we'll roll for Katia because... Well, Katia rolled all of these. That's good. So, we're going to begin this combat with an Octavian.
I'm assuming I would have heard something behind me.
It's not behind you?
I'm facing this way.
Oh, yeah, sorry. You would have heard the sounds of probably Greed shrieking as spectres appeared next to them.
Okay,
Green is stuck mid-scream, like, right now. That's what's happening.
Right, so hearing that, Octavian would move sort of to there. Ha. Okay. Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
Yeah?
I think that hits them all.
Yeah.
Let me... Nope. I don't know what just... Oh.
Don't prompt me to dex save for them. Do I have to...
I haven't rolled yet.
No, it did it. I saw
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
No, I hadn't targeted anything. I literally just pulled up the Conjure Animal sheet.
Oh, Chris, doing it for me.
Oh, okay.
Or did it prompt you on your screen, Chris, and not on mine?
No, I'm doing it because they just roll saves.
Yeah, also, is this meant to be a... This is if they succeed, they take no damage, right?
Yep.
Correct.
So there are some that succeeded that took half, it looks like.
Something's broken. Also...
In fact...
That's weird.
Oh,
I also don't think Cat's claws count as magical.
Just open it back up. It's a magical spell.
Yeah, but the feature
But-
properties aren't set for magic, so isn't the effect of the claws magic for overcoming damage resistance?
It
Or is
does
it not?
have. It is clicked magic damage.
It is
Yeah.
now.
Oh.
I've just put the feature properties magical because looking at all of them,
Technically
ones that
speaking-
only took half.
So technically speaking, well, what the difference is this spell came out in 2024. There's no longer a magical damage like situation like that no longer exists. So it wasn't
that's
accounted
true.
for in the writing of the spell. But according to the old rules, I would imagine a spell works like this would count as magical damage. But because these are the old specters, not the new specters, they're looking for a trait that no longer exists
Okay.
in the game.
I found the
Yeah.
no damage effect. And I've updated that.
Have you do we need to undo the damage from the one that succeeded? I guess. I'll just do
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
There you go. And then the rest, I'm just gonna say for whatever reason in this case, I'm just gonna have them take half. So what's the action economy for moving your thing again? Is it bonus or is it your action?
Just when he
Movement.
moves.
Just when I
Oh,
move.
you move.
Yeah. So now I need to untarget all of them. And then I'll go for that one. And I'm just going to throw I'm going to throw my harpoon, that's it. I have no idea why I'm at disadvantage.
Are you counting as an enemy? No.
Casimir, are you an enemy?
No. Is Wovo?
No.
No. Is it
Is
Octavian?
Misha?
Oh, and
Is-
I?
Yeah,
As
I'm
you
just-
do so, Octavian, you see
Don't
like a frosty chill go over your harpoon for a moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be my action then. That'll be my
That's your
turn.
action.
I got nothing I can really do as a bonus, so
What's that? Oh, that 1d6 is the cold thing, right?
yes.
Um,
Yes, that'll be off of my. If you're on about my damage on my level up, I have the. Which one is it? It lets me add extra damage, primal strike, and I choose
that's your
what
primal
type
strike.
it is when I hit.
okay.
So I'm gonna. Well, I don't know what these are weak to, so I'll just call it thunder damage, just as a. It might work.
They are resistant to that, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. But at least that I know, so next time I can choose the next one.
Yeah. So that was your turn. Anything as a bonus?
You know what? Yes, because I took durable.
Durable.
I'm going to use a bonus action to expend one of my hit dice to regain health.
Okay. Okay. And whilst you're doing that, Katia, what would you like to do?
Where's the?
Twilight
Also, there appears to
Sanctuary,
be a small dragon
sure.
next to you.
Appeared? What do you mean? Isn't that?
There's this.
Whose daggers has it taken, by the way?
So Octavian, as another thing, as you're casting a spell and perhaps go to look through your inventory for things, you notice your dagger's missing, and you also notice that this drake that has appeared, which is holding the ewer in one hand, has your dagger in the other.
Oh, that thing is going to get a punch if it doesn't give it back.
Yeah, this is not Misha's dragon. This is an unknown dragon.
Oh.
Oh,
I
if that's
thought it was Misha's dragon.
so did I.
Nope.
If that's the case, then have I got anything I can hit it with at the moment?
No, my dragon was blown up in a fireball.
Yeah. This one's bigger.
I don't think I have
Okay,
anything
hold
as
on
a
1 second.
bonus I can do. No, I don't. I'll just
Sorry.
leave it like that. I won't do the healing for now. I think I'll be
Foundry
alright.
lagging really badly right now.
Yeah.
So just give me one.
This is what the Drake looks like.
You can also
Huh.
hover it and see its art.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That is from that's from a thing. I recognize that design. That's cool though. That's really cool though.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay, Katia.
Hi. I'm literally having trouble accessing Foundry right this moment. So
Just tell me what you want to do.
I'm
and I'll
trying.
do it.
It's happening. Okay. And if that's the case, then I wanted to Twilight Sanctuary. I would like to give it to we'll do Aster for this round.
Okay.
And
That's potentially still up from the last. Yeah.
Yeah, they all still have temp HP from last.
Yeah, they do still have temp HP. The only
Could give me more.
Yeah.
The thing. If you do still
Okay.
want to give it to me.
Only if you roll a 5 or a 6.
True.
who?
This little dragon that's
Who does
chuckling
not
to
have
itself
temp HP?
doesn't have temp HP.
No, I meant like in the party. I can't really tell.
Misha.
Everybody
Right now.
Everyone,
temporary HP.
everyone
Yeah.
has temp HP, yeah. From your
Okay,
previous use of Twilight
Actually,
Sanctuary in the
in that
last room.
case, I will give temp HP. In that case, I'll give it to myself because I need it.
You have
You
you have
all
the
get
maximum
the best you
possible
can get.
temporary HP.
Oh, that's
Yep.
right. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
But these are ghosts, right? Are they considered undead?
Yes.
Yeah, you could use Turn Undead.
I'm using turn undead.
Okay. I will target them all for
That's-
you. And
Yeah. They should be automated. Give it a go.
Go
why
away!
did that one go? Do I need to target or not? Because I don't actually know how this
Yeah,
works.
I would.
Yeah, purely because I don't trust walls. Someone use this item. Oh. No use on channel. Damn it! Your channel divinity broke. Beer.
Trying to use a resource.
Yeah. But I'll just do it without using the resource for now because I need to look at that. Updates, everyone. They're fun. That didn't do anything. Hold me wisdom saving throws, but it didn't actually do anything. So I think that might just be broken in total. So I'm just going to roll wisdom save for them all. 7 wisdom saves coming up.
No.
Um,
There you go. Now it's rolled them.
and all but one failed. Which means they would all have that applied.
It's using 2014 one. What's it supposed to do?
Well, it's meant to give them the frightened effect. It's also meant to do the seer
Is it not
undead.
seer undead? Yeah. What's that?
Yeah.
How much damage is that?
Seer undead is
48.
48.
Okay, so roll that.
Yeah, I'll roll that. 16.
They're dead. They're dead.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Not quite. They've got a little bit more health than that.
It's
No, they were all on
radiant.
16.
Why were they all on 16?
Because it comes
because
your
of
animals.
the thing. this one's still alive. The one that made the save. Katia, you raise your holy symbol, and basically all of these specters are just blasted away with pure moonlight shaped like wolves as it just tears them down and brings them to the next realm. And this one's just like, what a bunch of cowards they are. They died as they lived, pitifully. As for me,
Jeez.
I'm still standing. It's my turn next. But that's your action. You've still got your bonus action. You don't have to use that if you don't want to. At this point, it almost seems a waste.
Yeah.
This one says all of that, like all of those bold words. Like, those are cowards, but I'm still here, and it's like, and then it just sinks through the floor and retreats. And the combat is over.
He just leaves.
Yep, he just left. He's just like, yeah, no, but I'll get them later. They were cowards, but a tactical retreat is required. I will get you later.
Next time, Katia. Next time.
The dragon runs under the table.
That was a lot more effective. I thought that would.
Yep, the dragon runs under the table with both Ewer and knife.
Under the table.
Or dagger. Yep, under the table.
You know, I didn't think that spell would be that effective.
Right. Is that combat over for the moment? Yes.
Yep. Yeah, it's done.
Right. Octavian will literally dive under the table. Like, almost like cartoon style, he will run and just sort of dive under the floor and slide to grab this creature.
I'm sorry.
In response, it's going to move and hide behind Greed. Like, it darts around you and hides behind Greed.
Do I be a dick or don't I?
And then Octavian, you see for a moment as it does that, it looks entirely fearful. But as it gets behind Greed, there almost seems to be a twitch and it moves, and you see like a sort of like a greedy smirk on its face as it reaches towards Greed's pocket.
Greed pockets.
What? And I'll quickly shove my hands in it.
And yeah, I'm just gonna dive and come
How
out from
are
under the
you?
table and try and grab it again.
I like the little eye icon for hiding. Correct.
And it's just like, who am I? Who am I, you ask?
A thief.
Maybe you should introduce me, looks to Aster.
You see as Aster like tilts their head sort of slightly. Are you the one who's been doing the muttering as of late?
Sarcastic golf clap.
Huh?
However, I will say, as the party look over this creature, with the exception of Katia, there is a somewhat sense of familiarity to this creature.
What?
Yeah, everyone else has a sense of familiarity as
Yeah.
they look at this, apart from yourself, because you weren't there.
Okay.
Oh, isn't this the sprite thing from Argynvost? From the fireplace?
No.
No.
No? Okay then.
Actually, I was there.
Hmm.
Look at its wrist.
Eh?
Wrist.
It's got a chain on its wrist.
It's from the fireplace in the death house.
Fireplace?
It's not from the fireplace in the death house, but you're close.
Is it not the fireplace? It was the
The
No,
altar.
the fireplace was Argynvost.
it was like the smoke spirit.
No, this is
This was from the basement.
the altar. Before we
Mhm.
left the building, that fights.
With a young silver-scaled dragon.
Oh, yeah.
And how exactly did you make it all the way up here?
I've
Strahd.
been with you the entire time, waiting for the right moment.
Can someone explain? Katia in the corner.
Aster sort of goes, well, when we left the death house, it hit Strahd. Octavian and Greed, do you not remember?
We've had a lot going on since then, but I can vaguely remember, yes.
You would remember when you defeated that dragon, its spirit seemed to flow into Aster.
Oh, yes.
I do remember it being bigger.
Well, my host body isn't quite powerful enough to manifest my full capabilities yet.
And
But
you're
this size is useful.
Go on.
This size is useful, strokes the dagger.
I hope you have some good intentions here.
This is effectively, and looks at Misha like sideways. My right hand.
I don't care what it is, it won't be here much longer if it doesn't return what it has stolen.
Stolen?
Like, you've not seen Octavian this pissed.
Stolen? Stolen. What have I stolen?
There we go.
Oh, this! I didn't steal this, I found it.
I'm going to bonk it on the head. If it's Aster's, then I'd like to see it try something. I'm just going to bonk it.
Ow. That was mean.
And I'm going to take the dagger back. It's wrong to steal.
I didn't steal it, I found it. You dropped it on the floor. I was going to return it. I was just admiring it a little bit. If anything, I borrowed it.
I'm going to snatch it away from it.
Fine, but I'm keeping the ewer.
Fine, keep that. And I'll just hilt end to... Well, not hilt end, handle end to Octavian.
He'll take it and slide it back into its sheath. And that
Now-
will then go on the inside pocket of his jacket.
Now, if anything else goes missing, I'm going to make a pair of shoes out of you.
Asgreed says that he's already reaching for your pocket.
Yep.
I was gonna fucking poison spray, like, pocket sand, meow.
I feel like the moment your
Whilst-
eyes lock eyes with it, it then like immediately pulls its hand back.
Yeah, I'm just gonna slap it away. It's like, go
I
away.
was just, I noticed your coat was a little bit off, creased. I was just patting it down.
Aster, keep this under wraps, please.
They've been under wraps this whole time. I didn't. Did you come out on your own? What?
Well, I was sleeping, and then there was a bright light, and, well, I got woken up.
Wait, from the sword?
That might be it. It's a very pretty looking sword. But it's not my style.
What's your name then?
Names. Those were important. I should come up with a really good one. Yes, we should. We should come up with a good one. I think, unless Aster has any objections, still not getting used to that. I will go for Tarnish. They're not quite as shiny as I used to be.
She doesn't know how to respond to that.
But there is another door in this room. I see you going back, but I don't know if you wanting that door.
No!
So, beyond this door, this black marble balcony overhangs the northwest corner of the temple, the floor of which lies 30 feet below. Nearly half of the balcony has fallen away and obvious cracks have formed near its ragged edge.
I would like to jump to my death.
I mean, you're welcome to.
So there's a bit of a walkway around here.
Yeah, but it's like very broken, and it looks like might not support the largest amounts of weight, but
I was going to say, I look at the floor, look back to Octavian, look back at the floor, look back to Octavian. I don't think we're going to make it this way.
Look at your hippo now. Look back to me. Look at the hippo now. Look at the floor.
The
Old Spice.
The what's it? The all the container, the magic container.
Yeah, the Ewer.
The Ewer.
Which the dragon has.
Yep. Aster's gonna walk over and just sort of like look at it curled around the Ewer, and then just sort of reach down and pick up the Ewer.
Casimir's going to roll an Arcana check based on his knowledge of things. Based on its design, I believe I might know what this is. This is actually an old Vistani relic. It's quite valuable in its own way.
Really?
Any poisonous liquid poured into this ewer is instantly transformed into an equal amount of sweet wine. Furthermore, if you grasp the ewer's handle, you can command it to fill with 1 gallon of wine. It can't produce any more until the next dawn.
I'm going to start pushing my way through the crowd.
I will hold it out, and in Draconic, I will say wine.
It fills with the room, which the wine smell had gone away, has now returned in full force. And it is a high-quality wine, but not one of the wines of Barovia.
Barovia?
And it's not one of Barovia's wines. It's not a Wizard of the Wine wine.
Are any of these glasses like real glasses?
No.
Okay.
Everything on the table was false apart from the table and this.
Great.
Yes.
Do you recognize these brands?
Do I?
Reed, you can give me a history check based on the smell of this wine. because that's all you can get it from.
No.
No, it's not one Greed would recognize. He's drunk many wines, but I think he's more in for the getting drunk than the quality sometimes.
Can
Oh, that's
I
actually
give it
very
a try, as Octavian's fairly well-travelled?
Yeah. You can
Also
give me a
probably
history
would've-
check.
Probably
Yeah,
would have
Aster-
also shifted loads.
Aster will
It's-
pour, like using everyone's mess kits, pour wine into everyone's.
Oh, there we go. Let's go.
Yeah. So, Octavian.
On the
This-
vintage, I want.
This wine,
I can give you
in
the taste.
particular, is actually let's look at let's have some fun for a moment. Let's look for, this is specifically a sweetened wine. So this is a wine known as Storm Ruby. It is a excellent sweet and tart wine created by Famelon the Elder,
Okay.
who lived in a merchant port on the Sea of Fallen Stars.
Oh. Of course, Octavian's been to the Sea of Fallen Stars.
Yes. Yes, he has. Honeymoon spot.
Yeah, the hardest, the largest sea of Faerû.
Mm-hmm.
He will relay all this information. And you do sort of see almost a reminiscent sort of glint to his eyes as he's describing this.
And based on the taste, this Octavian probably would have been presented this on your one of your first journeys as a captain of a ship transporting goods. You transported various goods for this Famelon the Elder to this city. And as a bonus and perhaps a perk, as he found out it was your first captaining, he granted you a taste of the oldest of his vintages, like the best vintage. And that is what this reminds you of. It's not quite the same, but it's very close. But perhaps nostalgia makes it almost taste even better for you.
Yeah, he will sit there very sort of slowly, just sort of doing the whole like reminiscing, smelling like the aroma of the wine, tasting slightly. And yeah, his eyes almost tear up over it. This would have been probably about 40 years prior. He would have had that.
Jesus.
Yeah, Aster will pour wine for everyone, including put like his own mess kit cup that you've never seen used on the floor next to Tarnish, and pouring wine into that.
Yeah.
Untouched mess kit.
Laps it up. Casimir looks to the room ahead and then looks across, and it's like, and says, there does appear to be another balcony. Perhaps we can work our way around. I don't like the idea of, if what you said is true, Misha, that statue contains some sort of powerful fiend. I don't like the idea of being on a crumbling walkway without having somehow dealt with it.
Not
Yes.
ideal.
I mean, I could climb my way around and sneak behind it, see if I could figure out what it is.
If you're quiet
Well-
about it, I don't see a problem with a peek.
We can
Though
take the south door and take the stairs. There were stairs. you
There were
described.
stairs.
there was the main stairs in the main hall, but there was also another set of stairs that Greed found over on this side.
Oh,
But
yeah.
there's the entire other side of the top floor to explore, as well as some chambers in the central chamber on the top floor.
If it is in or behind the statue, this upper balcony, this crumbling balcony, because I can climb, might be my best opportunity to get behind it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it appears to be, I would say, in the head of the statue.
I personally want to take the stairs that I found earlier. Something's drawing me to it, similar to what Misha had earlier. So perhaps it might
Wouldn't
be a
it
good
just-
thing.
For my peek into the central room, those stairs have led down into the central room anyway?
No.
No. The stairs Creed found are here.
Yeah, they're over here.
So it's the
They
other
would
way.
lead to a different area. That might eventually come into this main central chamber, but you're not sure from where you glanced through.
Okay. I just am wary about going deeper when we haven't even covered this level.
It's not like most creatures can surprise us.
Well, what do you think?
What do you think, Octavian? You're our strategist.
Giving me way too much credit here. Anyway, I do have a question, James. Is there a reason there's a flame skull right outside the door?
It's dead.
That's a dead flame skull.
Okay, that's fine. I just saw it and I went, hold on. We're
Yeah, we
about to get
sprinkled-
fireballed again.
Aster sprinkled holy water on the flame skulls.
hmm
Yeah.
That's what I thought happened, but I just saw it and went, hold on.
Yeah, that's just been there.
That's the problem with flame skulls. Is a unenchanted a dead flame skull just looks like a flame skull.
Yep. Just less flamey.
Just less flame.
Octavian would probably agree.
With
Yeah, I
clearing?
think yes, I think we need to clear this place room by room, layer by layer.
Cool.
You look at Green, you know, I understand you have that urge and that draw to go further down. I understand that. I said, but last thing we need is to get trapped in a hallway or God knows what else. And because we didn't clear what's behind, we're now pinned on both sides.
I can understand that.
At least this way, we work through, we clear it out systematically. Then there's no chance of us realistically of getting pinned and stabbed in the back somewhere.
Very well.
It may take us longer, but I believe that is the best course of action.
Very well. Let's get it done then. The sooner the better, of course.
Of course.
Right, continue on then.
Yep. So would you guys like me to try to stealth to see if I can either figure out the identity of this thing in the statue, or this is probably the best angle we could get on it? Is the only reason I mention it is that's the closest I could get going around along the wall and be behind it.
Might be
Can we
the best
see it from
option.
here? Wasn't there
You
a?
can't see into it, no. You can see the
yeah.
statue.
No, I mean, can we see that far? Wasn't our vision obscured by the darkness?
It was, but
We
then
have eyes at
Katia.
night. Yep.
Okay. Well, if we can see it from here,
So
this should be our sniping spots.
I can draw it out.
an idea. I can take a perch on the ledge and keep an eye out.
Yeah. I will stealth then and
I'll attempt
try to get.
stealth.
Yep.
Ooh.
Pretty good stealth roll.
I'm gonna perch out in the corner here.
And I will stealth along this wall, never touching quite the floor.
Yeah, Octavian will sort of get as close as he can without standing on the.
From this side, does it look like there is a any like way to get up to the statue? Like,
No.
okay.
The statue itself raises from the floor, but that's all you can really see. You can give me a perception check if you wish. There.
Absolutely.
No, unfortunately, you don't see anything that would. You can't see a creature. You can't see a way in. You can just. And Misha's sense would say it's inside the head of this statue.
I do have right now I do have because I have which ones do I have? I have Chris reset my favorite terrain. Damn it. I had the subterranean and the cold for coming up here. But Chris reset my favorite terrain. So now all of them are on my sheet. Apologies.
I didn't reset them.
All
Foundry must
of
have.
them. Yeah, Foundry must have. Apologies, I don't mean to interrupt with something slow, but
Suppose I can move this.
yes, the so the favorite terrain lets me I believe the subterranean gives me tremor sense out to 15 feet. So I would move over and climb up the statue along the back. So as I get close to whatever it is, if it's touching the ground in this statue in any way, I would know as soon as it's within 15 feet of me.
And how much knowledge you get from tremor sense? It's one of those things that I've never.
I believe it's that I've never used tremor sense before, so
Tremor sense allows you to perceive a creature as long as you're on the same kind of material, like rock or ice or water. But it is not a form of sight for the sake of advantage, disadvantage, or
Yes, spellcasting. Yeah.
what's the word? Targeting it with spells that require sight.
So what you would probably get, I would say, is it appears to be probably about humanoid in size. Like, not like medium sort of creature, humanoid in size. But you can't get much more than that.
Mm.
Take that as you will.
Interesting. Can I tell which direction it's facing?
It probably would be facing forward at this point. Actually, no. It's probably looking slightly downward. Based on its posture, you would perhaps suggest it's almost reading a book.
Mm.
Or something like that.
Interesting. Hmm. I'm going to pull out a rope and fashion it into a noose, since that is a rope that if you try to pull on it, it will get tighter.
Mm-hmm.
And from my stealth position, knowing where it's sort of sitting and the way its head is like tilted, I'm basically going to immediately try to toss the rope and then pull my weight with the rope, like fall along the other side, trying to basically like yank this up by the neck into vision where everyone can see it.
So I will say, now that you're close, the face of the statue was like a void of darkness, but it has got like a stone hood.
Okay.
Sort of thing. So you wouldn't be able to like lasso it from there, basically.
Okay.
You would need, if you were going to do that, you would probably need to do it from the front. But that seemed to be like a void.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know it's there. It doesn't know I'm here. So it'd be done at neutral. Would you guys consider it worth the risk? Everyone else?
It's a tough decision. It could be viable to get whatever's in there out, but it's what's in there's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely don't know.
Yeah. Aster, now that you're here, give me, I'm going to say, an Arcana check. Yeah.
I have my
So all you
monster
know
book
is,
if you want to give me advantage, but that's the only thing that might help is I have a book of
no,
monsters.
it's not going to help in this particular case.
Yeah. Can one of you cast silence?
Deafen or blindness to affect senses.
No, Katia doesn't have it ready.
I don't have it either.
It's
Okay.
not on my list.
That's fine. It was worth an ask.
Yep.
If I smell, does it smell like anything in particular? Like, is there a...
Give me another perception check, I'll say for that. So, in your younger days, when you were first hunting, you probably wouldn't have been out to hunt monsters straight away. You would have probably been out to hunt like game and things like that. The sort of scent this is giving you is of that of a fox.
Oh. Okay.
Wait, a fox fiend?
Fox fiend.
Mm-hmm. Foxing fiend. Fiendish fox. Now,
So
I appreciate. Sorry,
Oh,
continue.
yeah. You go ahead. I'm trying to consider what I would do, so go ahead.
Yeah, Casimir goes, now I appreciate that dealing with whatever is in there is important. This is to the other group members because they're not going to shout out loud to Aster. But it seems like Aster might be at a loss. Do we wish to move on and perhaps try to sneak our way down south and maybe come back to this later? Perhaps there's more information elsewhere.
It might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will, just for the sake of knowledge, if I take a gold coin and I just fling it out this way to where it just makes the sound like it rolls along, like it'll hit the ground and roll along the floor.
Just realized, no, they would see. Oh, that would see you.
Mm-hmm.
Just stealthing for quiet. As you do that, Aster, your hearing picks up the sound of almost perhaps like a coalescing magical energy behind you. And glancing back, you would see here, you can see an arrow slit. You might just be able to see a figure in it if I move it there. Possibly.
Yes, I can see. Yep. Okay, I would move back to the others if I feel like there's danger afoot.
As you begin to retreat back, that sense of energy begins to go away. But I will say, as you throw the gold coin, for the brief moment, you sense an almost alertness to the figure inside. And a moment later, you hear a voice in your head, Aster. Apologies. It's been a while since I've spoken to anyone, and even telepathically I seem to need to clear my throat. Why are you tossing gold coins around here? Why are you here?
Why are you here?
Very fine question. A fine question indeed. I am here for knowledge.
You know, telepathically
here-
talking to Aster must be complicated.
To most, this would be quite a intricate conversation. You appear to have quite a fractured mind. But as of me, well, I am used to dealing with strange minds. And I am here now guarding this temple. And unfortunately, I don't have much reason to trust you, but providing you don't try to make your way downstairs, I suppose I don't have any reason to interfere at this moment. Um, hmm. Yes, I am. Now I am quite vexed by this. What is the best thing to do? I could easily destroy you. That would be well within my power and my rights as a guardian here. And yet, there could be things to learn.
I can promise you I'm not something you've met before. Perhaps speaking plainly.
How about this? If you come downstairs with, I would assume, based on everything, you're probably the adventuring type. So you probably have a party, some friends, compatriots, compatriots. Yes, if the lot of you descend the main stairs, I will promise not to attack and we can converse properly.
I will insight.
You can insight. He does appear to be being honest, or they appear to be honest. Actually, slight correction on my words. I promise not to attack unless your desired actions cause a sense of distaste within my mouth that requires your immediate destruction. But I will at least converse briefly with you until I decide whether you are worthy of remaining or worthy of destroying. However, based on your position, I would advise you, unless you seek death, to not head north. Exophanta can be quite tetchy to intruders, more so than myself. Yes, quite.
What brought you here?
I believe the time for telepathic communication has passed. Should you wish to continue our conversation, then you will need to enter the main chamber with your compatriots, but only via the stairs. Should you enter via any other means, and I will be aware, I will not hesitate to unleash my full power upon you.
Yeah, I will return to the group and sort of push everyone, like, not push, but like usher everyone back in the room and slowly shut the door.
What's going on?
Knowing it's a fox fiend, does that give me a clear idea of what it would be?
You can give me a nature or arcana check. And if you describe it to Casimir, he may be able to roll as well.
Yeah, I'll gladly describe it.
Wow, Casimir, for someone with such high intelligence, you suck. Sorry. Misha, you have heard of creatures like this. You have heard of creatures that are neither devil nor demon. A group known as daemons, weirdly, specifically different from demons, and of these, there is a subspecies known as the Arcanoloth. And based on the description of a fox-like fiend, that is a distinct possibility, for that is a form that these shape-shifting fiendish creatures tend to favor.
He has offered us a audience as of note. A dangerous offer to take. But he didn't seem to be dishonest in the offer, as long as we don't piss him off, as it were.
Hmm.
We could... I'm sure that he expects us to take our time considering it, but we would need to enter via the main stairs. Which I believe was the main entrance, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I would say, sorry, to give a perhaps slightly more accurate description, it is fox-like, but it's also jackal-like, the scent. So it's
Yeah.
a sort of mixture of those two.
Sort of vulpine canine.
Yeah, that sort of
Not
thing.
unlike me, actually.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Strange.
They are normally record keepers and scribes of Gehenna, managing transactions for services rendered in the Blood War.
We have an opportunity to disarm a enemy, as it were, by making them not necessarily our enemy. Do you think you could convince them, Greed? Do you think you could convince them if we were to speak to them directly?
Foxbury?
The
Fox demon.
Arcanoloth.
Convince them of what, though?
He seems to be interested in what we want to do here, but also interested in whether or not we would piss him off. But I don't know what would piss him off. But it means that if we go with open arms in the situation, it gives us our best opportunity for understanding. That, or we could try to sneak our way across the balcony to the other side and go the other direction we had planned to go anyway. But we may be able to at least be able to pass through the main chamber if we speak to him safely.
I mean, we can certainly try.
Now we should probably take a short rest. Enjoy this wine before it goes bad. And then we can head to the main entrance and try that way. What do you think, Tarnish?
I'm going to roll a d3 on this for reasons. A 1, so which... Yeah. I think if we can lure them out, this would be the perfect time to stab them in the back and bring down an enemy. They might be a threat, but if we keep them, they might be a threat while hidden away like a coward, but we can lure them out. We could easily destroy them. Set up some traps, perhaps. Yes. And steal all the knowledge that they have.
That's a good idea. Aster, why don't you return that creature from where it came from and shut it up permanently?
I don't think I can.
I see. He's about as irritating as that child.
No, there's no there's no function capability to.
There's
There's
a
no
long rest.
No, not even a long rest, and it stays around until it dies.
Well, if it drops to 0, or yeah. Yep. Yes, you see, I'm here forever.
I'm going to reach down and I'm going to take Casimir's dagger back and hand it back to Casimir.
Casimir's like, I didn't even go near him. Wait. Oh no, he didn't take my spell book. That's good. Otherwise I would have to vaporize him. After all, it's written on in a book that Theodosia gave me, so if someone tries to take that, I will destroy them.
What if Katia took it?
I don't have to take it.
She
I
would-
can just ask.
She would be punished if she stole it, but not destroyed.
I won't steal it. Why would
Merely
I
a
steal
warning. Merely a warning.
it? I'm not gonna steal it.
I think it was a joke, Katia.
Oh, she just drinks her wine.
Yes.
Alright, let us... Yes, you guys can have a short rest now if you wish, and Cam, you've just raised your hand, sorry.
Yes. While we're having... Oh, I can't raise my hand. Sorry, lower it.
Already rested.
Can I, whilst we're having this short rest, have a look at the amber piece
Yeah.
that I'm meant to be delivering here? Does it look any different, or...?
The amber piece... Well, that's interesting, sorry. Does have a, perhaps... almost like the opposite of a glow, if that makes sense. Like it almost seems to be drawing in light.
Okay.
You'll find out soon enough when you come to me, Greed.
Can I respond in my head?
Yeah?
Where exactly are you here?
– Downstairs.
I thought so.
Behind a locked door.
A locked door in which I can open, or do I need a key?
You might be able to open it. That's part of the tests.
I see. Well, I won't be long.
I'll believe that when I see it. You've kept me waiting long enough.
Can't you see me upstairs already?
Yes, but you're wasting time drinking wine when you could be coming down to see me. And complete your task.
Point taken. I'll see you soon.
Whilst they are sitting and enjoying some wine, Katia will look to her dad and she'll be like, she'll put a hand to, and she has like the one finger kind of stroking head of like one of the snakes on her necklace. About this.
What do you wish to know?
Battle. Mother Superior had told me that she found me in a little basket, on the doorstep, and that this was in it.
Yes, that
Yes.
it was.
That's a lot.
That necklace was the one item I had of your mother's that I could give to you at that point. It was perhaps a risk to give it to you, considering its nature.
My mother's?
Yes.
She blinks. Nature.
This symbol, he lowers his hood, revealing his torn up ears, revealing he has a similar one around his neck, is a symbol of our connection as the Dusk Elves of Barovia with the Vistani. They were brought from outside, and quite often when a Vistani and a Dusk Elf became close friends, they would begin wearing these necklaces to symbolize that friendship.
Wow.
The one you have belongs to your mother. Its matching pair belongs to my sister. Actually, have I got that the wrong way around from my memories? He pauses for a moment. He pauses for a moment and
above table.
sort of thinks for a moment and goes, "No, wait. No, that one belongs to my sister."
Oh.
Yes, that's right. Yes, that belongs to Patrina, or belonged to Patrina.
This was my aunt's?
Yes. Your mother has the matching one.
So they were friends.
Best friend, you could say. Yeah, honestly, I know I had relations with your mother, so that after all, you wouldn't exist otherwise, but truly, I think your aunt was closer to her than I was. At least until it happened, of course. When the darkness took your aunt and we took her down and thus lost many of our people. I don't think your mother ever truly forgave us for that, though they understood our reasoning. And yes, it was a difficult time.
I personally don't really understand why that happened. I know that they felt betrayed and that's why they lashed out,
We as Dusk Elves stand between the light and the dark. It was the decision of our elders that any light within my sister had been extinguished, and thus her life should be extinguished, lest she become a threat.
But
unfortunately, it was that very death that caused the true threat to be unleashed.
a genocide.
Yes, of all females of our race. That for a while your mother left and did not return. And it was years later that she did, and she did not stay for long. But we became reacquainted in that time. And then 9 months later, she returned again. And that is when we had to make the difficult decision.
She
Giving you
returned
the
to
net.
She returned to Barovia to give birth to me?
It was her feeling that I should be present for it. And that she hoped that she would be able to take you with her. But it seemed that the mists would not allow it. Which is why we had to, well, I had to try to keep you hidden. And protected how I could. Love
I can't
is a
imagine.
powerful emotion.
I can't imagine what you were feeling when you had to do that.
I felt weak, like I had betrayed you, that I was unable to protect you myself as a father should. But I had to do what was right.
She will get up and she will go over to hug him, because I can just... With how you said that line, it sounds like he's tearing up. You know, so
He
she's going
and
to
hugs
hug
her,
her
and
father. I'm sorry.
it is not your fault. There is no reason to apologize. What has happened has happened.
Sorry you had to suffer. I'm sorry that it was because...
My suffering was of my own making. Of our people's own making. But he considers this again. But I do not regret it. I still believe it was the right thing to do. However, he smiles slightly. I think you've chosen a good relationship when it comes to that tiefling boy.
Oh my god! No, sorry, she would be... Oh my goddess! No!
Katia,
What?
I might not have been with you for most of your life, but I can tell what it looks like. I can see that you are clearly smitten. And I would say that the relationship, that the feelings are not unrequited.
Is he saying this loud enough for fucking Misha to hear?
I mean, that depends. If he's probably like saying it quietly, but if Misha,
Yeah, she's hugging him.
if Misha is listening in, they Cam, roll me a perception check to see if they overhear this.
Misha would not be listening in, but I feel like Casimir is making that remark in such a way that it is hard to ignore it.
Yeah.
I almost
He-
feel
he
like
prob-
says Misha, like the tiefling boy, and then like Misha looks over like, what, me? Like
Yeah,
Green?
just sort of glances across.
Don't you dare involve Reed in this.
She's like, I'm sorry for saying that you don't know me.
I don't, and that is. But that is something we will change.
I still shouldn't have said it like how I said it.
It is fine. You have every right to be angry at me.
That's the thing. I'm not.
You do not need to hide your emotions. You do not need to be embarrassed of them. Your emotions are truth. Do not hide your truth from the world, Katia.
I'm not used to being angry.
I don't think anyone
not-
truly gets used to being angry, unless they're a barbarian.
I don't know how they do it. I envy them. For me, it just feels like another obstacle in my path. I have one more question.
Yes.
You have been in Barovia for 300 years.
If not longer.
Yeah. Have you heard of a being called I'm personally Taylor is blanking on the name. But you said Keeper of Secrets is what you said the name
Yeah,
is?
the keeper and taker of secrets, but you
Keeper-
can simply call them the secret keeper.
Have you heard of a being called the Secret Keeper?
Oh God, I thought my drink was about to fall over then, and I almost jolted and almost knocked it over by doing so.
I think that's enough drinks for you, Father.
No, I'm afraid it is not one I have heard of.
All
But
right.
if it is secrets you are seeking, here is the place to find them.
I suppose.
There are many secrets hidden here, not just the source of his power, but some say the power over life and death itself.
I might as well tell you. And she'll get the group's attention for this one.
Hmm?
You know. And she'll say, the only other person that knows this is Aster. Well, and Ludmilla, technically. And she will retell them what happened at the hunter headquarters place underneath the abbey, about her encountering, this being, what happened to her, the conversation, and then she said, but then I saw them again recently.
Interesting.
I
Hey,
don't know what this is.
is
And
it
all my years of studying religion and history, I've never even heard of anything like it. Or like them, but they seem otherworldly.
The real question is, are they trustworthy? And should we
Well,
even be considering these
the
deals you're
reason
making with
why
them?
I haven't made any deals. At least, not yet.
You're giving
reason
them
why
secrets.
small ones. And the reason why I feel like I can trust her, them, I don't know, is because their enemy is Strahd, they said. Their only goal is to destroy him. And an enemy of our enemy is our friend, is it not?
That's
Perhaps.
complicated.
I know I should have brought it
So-
up sooner, but we were really... A lot happened that day.
I have found that sometimes the enemy of our enemies can just be another enemy to us. It just means there are more sides.
They seem to want to help me.
That's what an enemy would do if they want to control you.
Everything comes at a price in this world. Nobody gives anything for free.
Well, that's why I have to give them the secrets in exchange.
And it seems but that is the thing. There could be secrets that could get you information, but they would be dangerous secrets to share.
I haven't shared any dangerous secrets, and I'm not going to.
That is wise.
I don't know how to feel about them yet. They're intimidating for
And
sure, but it seems to be a place of kindness, potentially? Understanding?
This is the incense you needed, right, Misha?
Hmm? Oh, that's helpful. Let's see, how does this work? Where is it? Oh, there it is.
Now, why did you need that incense? Silence.
I'm back. Reporting for duty, sir. Oh, there's another
Mm.
dragon. Bigger than me,
Okay.
but I'm far shinier. I don't know if I like him.
Help.
Also, you're far shinier. Why are you so shiny? I'm not complaining, I'm just surprised. So,
It's complicated. Can you move Arcus 30 feet up? Because they're currently on the cellar. Yay! Wait.
there we go.
Yay.
But I believe we have all arrested sufficiently. Should we not proceed?
You'll have to go around to the main entrance and I'll have to check it for any traps. If we are speaking to that thing.
Is it just speaking we're gonna do, or are we gonna move further in when we're done?
We'll have to, whether we want to or not.
Yeah, cat would have disappeared.
What is this spirit? What?
Yeah.
Oh, the cats.
Just
But there's
making-
also the situation over there with the other fire skulls.
Yes, but we have to pass through the main chamber to get there, which means that if we do so not from the main entrance, he may engage us.
Hmm. Okay.
Don't follow as well. It's a long conga line.
Oh. Doggo, follow us.
Yeah, you're free to drag us along. If there is I would look for traps and things in the main entrance.
Yeah,
But we would eventually come around rather than.
Yeah. Just gonna try to drag you all down. God, you're all on follows. Oh my god, so many follows. What the hell is happening with Greed?
We just lost.
No,
Oh,
where's Katia gone?
Katia was on follow as well, I guess.
Oh god, another epic. My god.
Where is it even
Tokens.
open? At least there's no undead there.
Oh, but now Katia. Oh my god.
I'm back.
I'm just gonna. Alright, a 20-foot wide balcony of black marble with a shattered railing overlooks a vast temple. Black marble staircases at each end of the balcony descend 30 feet to the temple floor. The vaulted ceiling is 30 feet above the balcony. The walls and ceilings are covered in an amber glaze, lending the gloom a golden sheen. A set of amber doors stands close at the west end of the balcony, at which you've just come through, so they're actually open, and are similar at the east. There is also a room to the south that you can see. This one.
I will look at the sort of space where I know this guy is, sort of like wave a hand.
You get the sense of someone waving back. What would you like to do?
I mean, did he want us to go down to the front of the statue, or?
Yes, that is what he said. He said descend the main stairs.
I looked across, and I sort of like looking at him. I will point out the arrow slits all over the room.
He will sigh, and actually, from that distance, can he do this? Yeah, he can. Do not worry about them. No, that's not the voice. Don't worry about them, my erstwhile potential companion. I will order them to stand down for the time being, but should you, of course, enter into a situation that irks me to enough of a degree, I will, of course, unleash them upon you. But other than them and myself, I do not believe there should be anything for you to worry about. Unless you're allergic to marble, but you're standing on a marble balcony, so I think you're fine.
All right. If that's the case, I'll step forward. I'm still like paying attention, looking for traps. I know where the arrow slits are, so I'm not.
Mm-hmm. No.
If the others want to come with, but I'll make sure that we're all spaced out in case of him trying to cast like a AOE spell.
Feel free to go down, everyone. And spread out as you wish. Right. Welcome to the central chamber of the Amber Temple, adventurers from the mists. At least I assume you're from the mist, and I hope that assumption will be answered shortly. Otherwise, well, it doesn't really make a difference either way. Archie downstairs as well, because I'm just gonna have them. Right. Wait, Greed is for some reason not downstairs.
Greed is flying.
It's Greed's ego
He's-
helping him float.
Reed's right behind me, according to me.
He was, but he is now. But he was up on the floor above, technically.
Oh.
But still in the air.
Okay.
You know, actually, it's more important for us to stay near Misha than it is for us to. Oh man, his stuff isn't automating. Sad.
Fuck.
His aura, his aura is actually
Yeah.
better for us than spreading out.
Now let me have a look over you. Oh,
Why did Katia keep
what?
going into space?
I don't know. I'm not doing it.
Let me look over you. We have an astropotamus, a rare sight in Barovia. Not one I've seen in a while. A delight to the visage. I would guess, based on the attire, a naval officer, but also a druid of the Circle of Stars. I would surmise. Would I be correct?
Yes, sir, you would be.
Excellent. And then we have a paladin of the Lightbrand family, a tiefling who, if I'm looking correctly, and whilst you can't see them, you get the feeling in your almost like a sense of someone adjusting a pair of glasses to look at you closer. Looks like possessed by a spirit of a powerful weapon, which I thought was destroyed by Kazan. Interesting.
Song.
Then we have a ranger, Essence Reaver, not a creature I'm familiar with, though parts somewhat. Then we have a Vistanian Dusk Elf, but young, too young. You shouldn't exist. But you are a cleric of Mother Night based on your symbology, which would mean a Twilight cleric, I believe.
Yes.
And finally, a Tiefling, who I believe would be a Fiend Pact Tiefling, but to a Fiend type other than myself. You, Tiefling, you are here seeking one of the sarcophagi, are you not?
I may be.
Let me take a guess. A voice spoke into your head offering you power in exchange for you delivering something here?
Is this in my head or out loud?
Out loud.
I look around to the rest of the group. Well, it wasn't exactly put quite like that, but
Agreed.
I had a dream.
Yes.
She puts her hands on her hips.
He's
I thought we already talked about.
everyone.
I thought we already discussed this.
I mean, Octavian's just going to raise an eyebrow slightly at Katia as if to say about, pot calling kettle and hiding things.
No, I was about to say that you will give me a hard time about that.
I'm not giving you a hard time, just people have things that not everyone needs to know about, myself included.
I know.
I just don't get the point of hiding things from each other anymore.
It's not so much hiding, it's just
Yeah.
it's never been brought up.
I have
Actually,
Why
no.
would, why would we
No, it
ask?
has actually. Anyway, that's the point.
that you had a dream, and that dream asked you to deliver a piece of amber to this temple.
That's correct, but how exactly do you know all of this?
Oh no, I don't understand.
You're not the first, and you probably won't be the last. Hmm. Uh, you, I have more reason to destroy than any of your compatriots, but I would imagine, should I unleash magical might upon you, then the rest would become quite hostile, despite the fact that your intentions could bring an end to Barovia itself.
Why does that sound familiar?
And
Agreed.
who exactly are you to say all of this? Why should we even give a fuck
Introductions.
what you say?
My name is Netheron. I am a guardian of the temple here, and I worked with the mages that crafted this temple in order to seal away the dark powers that reside here. Dark powers which have potentially limitless capabilities should they be unleashed. For an example, of their powers are one of the reasons why people cannot leave Barovia without certain permissions. All of them want something, and they will offer things in return, but what they want, truly, is not to be trusted. Though I
Are they the ones?
suppose you have no reason to trust myself either, do you?
Not in the slightest.
You could show yourself. That may be more trustworthy than a
Disembodied
statue.
voice?
I could. Would that be advisable at this point? I mean, I can easily retreat.
If you don't attack us, we won't attack you. Simple as that.
Do I trust one who stands in the twilight? I suppose for now I will reveal myself. Give me a moment. You hear the sound of someone walking down stone steps.
Oh my
And
god,
then
it's gonna
from
be
the
like
back.
a gnome behind the curtain.
Good evening, everyone. Or good day. It's hard to keep track of here.
I will do a polite bow.
Where's this coming from? I don't see.
You not see
Oh,
it
there
in front
we
of
go.
you?
Yeah, see.
What you see is, for a better image, you see this in the chat.
Oh,
Yes, as I said, I am Netheron, and I would appreciate it if you didn't attack me. I don't wish it to come to that.
You're the first of your species I've been able to see. You're quite
Well,
different.
we are quite rare. A lot of my species are quite evil.
And what exactly are you?
yes, thank you for
I am an Arcanoloth, a fiend from Gehenna.
Looks
I
like a
was.
mouse.
How dare you? I am clearly a jackal or a fox or a war dog. I feel quite insulted. I'm almost tempted. I'm almost tempted to obliterate you simply for those words.
No, I'm so sorry. Please, I did not mean to be rude. I just never seen anyone like you before. I promise I don't mean
Well.
any ill will.
Aster looks at you, and then looks at him, and then looks at you, and then looks at him. Like, I've never seen anyone like you before.
Yes, well, yes, you would be. I've seen all of the species here on my travels. Many people of many races served the demons and devils in the Blood War, their souls sold. You are unique. Parts I can identify, and parts I'm hoping I'm wrong about.
Do elaborate.
And, well, there are many pieces of you that have gone to constitute you, but there is a sense I get from you almost like a black hole wanting to suck in all light. Oddly appropriate for this place, but not something I feel comfortable with. Yes. A difficult thing. Difficult decision, because you do seem like rather potentially interesting individuals, not ones that are necessarily a threat, but as I can see, at least one of you. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
You in the red. Show me that amulet you're wearing.
Aster will pull out the amulet that they got from Ava.
I recognize this symbol. It is a symbol of this temple, but not of any of the amber sarcophagi doors.
What?
In fact,
It was given to me by a soothsayer. A gift.
And yet I assume you have no idea what it does, correct?
I've looked
What
it
it's
over
for?
many nights. But I'm no mage.
That is a key.
What?
To a door within this temple. A door that I have been unable to open and resists my ability to teleport through it. And you carry a piece of amber. This could be an opportunity, but I would have to know if I can trust them.
Well, what can we do for you to trust us?
That is what I'm considering.
could introduce ourselves.
That would be a good start.
I could do what I've done in every instance where those who have chosen not to trust us. The sheer
And what
notion
would-
that we have not attacked yet is clearly a notion of trust.
Or a notion of wariness. I don't sense fear from you, but you look almost like a coiled spring ready to strike should I make the wrong movement.
Are you any different?
No, but that is what I mean. I would say there is not trust yet among us. There is not a lack of trust either. It is more a wariness. What to do? What to do? Yeah. And even if I did trust you, would you be capable enough to succeed in this regard? You have obviously survived the flame skull.
We all went to Ravenloft and walked out alive. So
Hmm.
he shrugs.
That to some extent would give me less reason to trust you, because it would suggest that your very lives are all part of his machinations. A plan of subtle subterfuge that I cannot yet see the purpose of. Certainly not allowing you to live long enough to arrive at this place where his secrets could be found.
Perhaps this does. We're not when we're supposed to be.
He looks at you closer, adjusting his gold-rimmed spectacles. Ah, that would explain the chronal energy I've been seeing amongst some of you. I thought perhaps I was seeing things.
The what energy?
Time.
Yes, time. That would be the right sort of thing. Everything moves in at least 4 dimensions, hypothetically more, and one of those dimensions is time. Should you travel in time, it can leave behind a residue, a form of chronal energy, which to the keen-eyed observer can be spotted. It's also quite dangerous in large quantities, but nothing that I can't deal with. And it's not of a large quantity here, but if I was to estimate, you are out of place by approximately 250 years.
That's
Around.
closest to our estimates as well.
Interesting.
But we cannot be part of his machinations, as we shouldn't even be here.
Well, yes and no. The mists are fickle and are under his control. He would often bring in adventurers to play with.
James,
And
hearing
you-
more.
He does this often?
Yep. Sorry, Octavian. Continue.
Hearing more about this creature and whatnot, would I know anything about what he said regarding the Blood Wars, his race, anything like that, from my travels?
You can roll me a history check. Pretty good. So you have heard tales of the Blood War. You have traveled to many different planes, but you have never traveled to the Nine Hells or the Abyss. The Blood War is a great war that took place or is taking place between the demons of the Abyss and their vast numbers and the devils of hell, who are tend to be lesser in number, but more in skilled, if that makes sense.
Yep.
The Arcanoloths supposedly are a neutral ground between the two, serving as, or the Yugoloths, which are what Arcanoloths are part of, sort of serve as mercenaries between the two sides, to the highest bidder to some extent. And the Arcanoloths were always managing transactions for services rendered by the Yugoloths.
Okay.
They are quite covetous of information and arcane power.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes this one odd, because he seems to be suggesting there are vast amounts of power here, but he doesn't seem to want to seek it or allow others to seek it.
Okay.
How about this? I could give you an
Hmm.
offer.
An offer would be a start. What did you have in mind?
The truth by which I am what I am. A chance to peek
Mm.
behind that which you fear.
Intriguing. A proposition, certainly. He seems to consider this. That would certainly provide some semblance of comfort, but would it be enough? On this, just looking at one of my maps a moment to try to work out where. Oh, it's there. Okay. And that's okay. Sorry, got confused by where something was on the map. But whilst that would sate my desire for information, huh. And yes, in answer to your earlier query, Miss Duskelf Vistani, Strahd has been known to bring many an adventurer here, some more powerful than others, some that have proven to be a threat, or at least would be a threat if it were not for what he is, and others that have been swiftly dealt with. I'd imagine in his long life, trapped as he is within the lands of Barovia, he has a limited amount of entertainment. Exathanta
You are
would
not
be a
wrong
much
about that.
Exathanta would be a much better judge, but they're of no use right now, really. At least they're dangerous as a guard dog, but as a reasoning being, they're no good. But they are the last ones standing. They are my compatriots.
There's a
None
reason
of you
you
are.
haven't killed the things below.
Oh, they are way beyond anyone's power to destroy. At least in their current state.
Aster raises an eyebrow and goes, "What about someone with the potential to eventually destroy them?"
The problem is, the only way to destroy them would be to release them. And even then, at your current state, even with your potential, I do not believe you would be a match. The best bet is to seal them away. Which is why you have, as a group, have potential. But also, you could prove to be a bigger danger. I could see a way to completely eviscerate him permanently and remove him as a threat. But there is potential that we would just put a bigger, badder problem on the throne with a new vessel. This will require much consideration.
So,
And the biggest problem is one of you has definitive ties to this place that cannot be denied. One of you wields a weapon that desires to destroy the evil that is the lord of this land. And two others of you, I believe, have had contact with some of the powers here. Yes.
Octavian's looking at, by the powers here, do you mean this? And he'll slide the sleeve up, show the brand.
No, the Thanes are powerful, yes, but compared to the powers locked within the amber sarcophagi by the powerful mages who gave up their, in some cases, their very lives and humanity in order to seal them away. Or mortality, sorry. Humanity is probably inappropriate considering the multitude of races and species and other such things that are possible. Yes, the powers here are vastly unrelated, though. I suppose there is a slight link between them if you consider that. If you consider that, yes. But no, I'm not on about the Thanes and their guardian spirits. I'm on about creatures powerful enough that they can even keep the very gods themselves at bay. Hence why it is interesting that someone has actually gained power from Mother Night, though I suppose, if anything, her power is the most likely to shine through.
You said things that are capable of overpowering gods.
Yes. Gods themselves would perhaps be a correct term for them, though certainly not ones that you would wish to make bargains with. Which I can see 3 of you are in the midst of doing, one closer than the other 2. 2, perhaps.
I'm just going to look at the group and go, am I really the only one who isn't tied to some deity?
I don't believe the gods like me very much, Octavian.
Oh, there's
No.
Casimir.
Casimir looks shifty as you say that.
Aster?
I will step forward and go.
He did say 3 who are tied to things here.
Mm-hmm.
Aster? What did you want to do here?
I suppose attempting to lie to you, Nephiron, would be unwise. Imagine you would see through it. You seem quite insightful. So I will admit it. I have come here to make a deal with the Corpse Star.
The what?
Nephiron raises his eye. Ah, and who exactly did you lose?
Mm.
My sister. The Corpse Star rules, has the power over life and death. A veil surrounds the soul, and I was told I could bring her back
By who?
by the Corpse Star.
At what cost, Casimir?
I was told I would find out when I got here.
If the cost is yourself, that's not a cost you should be willing to pay.
Can I do an insight on Casimir
I
at
need
this
to do an
point?
insight on my father. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you both can.
You gotta
It
roll
would
for
be a price. It would be a price that would be. You want me to roll that for you? Sorry.
Yeah, because I still don't have access.
Okay, both pretty high. He's clearly telling the truth by what he says. And he says, I believe whatever price it would be, if it is of myself, it is a punishment I would be willing to pay for my actions. The weight of my sins.
No, I just found you.
I do not believe I will die from it.
But something would happen. Or something could happen. Why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you tell me?
Because
We
it was
wouldn't-
not your burden to bear.
We wouldn't have agreed to take him knowing this.
That's why you were so adamant about coming.
It is one of the reasons that I was adamant. The other was, as I said, I believe there is information regarding where Strahd gained his powers that could allow him to eventually be dethroned.
You have family now, Casimir. Throwing yourself away in any peace is the folly of someone who's lost sight of what they have.
It is not for me that I do this. It is for her and for
Would
my
she
people.
want you to do this?
Yes, it was her spirit that guided me here.
Yes, but
Oh.
she
The Corpse
also...
Star- the Corpse Star allowed me to speak with her and
How do you know it
she
was her?
believed. I know my sister. She believes if I can bring her back, she has the means to defeat Strahd once and for all.
If you have chosen this path, it would actually be beneficial for us also. I'm not saying
Agreed.
it's the right thing to do, however, he seems rather set in himself.
I think that he has much he should consider before he makes a rash decision.
Exactly. I'm purely throwing out the other side of the spectrum.
If I do not bring my sister back, then truly the line of Dusk Elves will truly be broken. I realize that Katia shares my blood, but she is not
I'm not
a
sure.
full Dusk Elf. And eventually, as you progress, Katia, if you had children of your own one day, there'd be even less Dusk Elf blood. The only way would be for a union between two Dusk Elves in order to allow our tribe and species to thrive.
And how long?
That is why it is necessary
But
to defeat Strahd as well.
How long before all of you are related, though? That's not enough.
It
It is true.
does help they have a long lifespan. But it would be like 2-3 generations. One person is going to be the eternal prosperity of your kind. It will end.
Katrina was a very gifted mage, more gifted than myself. If anyone would have a way beyond this in order to bring back more of our people, it would be her.
That's why
Was
I
she
say
not
it may
loyal
not.
to him, though? Sorry. You go.
Hence why I was saying it's probably best to weigh up both options in this situation.
And you believe she's not going to... that she still isn't loyal?
I truly believe that her time dead has cleansed her soul of the evil she had before that's made her fall in love with that devil.
Aster will speak.
Excuse me.
He kind of flinches at that.
Aster will speak, looking at Katia and go, Casimir, and look at Casimir and go, you know full and well, falling in love with him isn't a matter of evil, but a matter of manipulation. And that isn't something that time and death would change. It's decisions that change that.
You raise a valid point, but time allows you to make those decisions.
Even when you're in the afterlife, or whatever purgatory they're in.
Well, that I can give you some insight into. Technically, any person killed within Barovia cannot ever truly leave. Their spirit will not pass on. It will remain until it is reincarnated into another body. It is, and to some extent, there are a limited amount of souls, so many are born without. You may have seen them in various places, emotionless nearly.
If that's the case, it's quite possible that the one who contains the soul of your sister might be very well your own daughter. And you're rolling the dice that she would die the instant you bring your sister back.
He pauses, considering this.
The resemblance is uncanny.
You said yourself how much she reminds you of your sister.
Physically, yes, but personality-wise, she is closer to her mother.
She still fell in love with Strahd. and this time she made the decision not to. The resemblance is uncanny. Is that a risk you're willing to take?
He seems to pause for a moment and almost seems to be listening. Like that's sort of the feeling you get from him. I do not believe I am confident that my sister's spirit does not lie within Katia. She is merely inherited genetic traits. I can sense my sister's spirit, and it is not within her. I can hear it, even now. Mm-hmm.
Can I roll insight again?
Yeah.
What the fuck, Dad? I think we're discovering the reason why Katia was not raised by him.
He seems quite honest about this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that. I mean, I'm not gonna doubt you if you say that. I'm more like, is he crazy? Or is it really his sister? Or
I think he's racked by
don't-
guilt. And I think that he needs something to push him past it.
I don't know. What?
So, one for Zudun, the corpse star. And you, Katia, what dark power tempts you?
Is the weird dog guy asking me that?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Fox.
I can see, my vision is quite clear to see between this and other dimensions similar and adjacent to our own, that there are threads of fate tying you to this temple. Threads that have been pulled on at least thrice. You have been drawn here as well.
Oh. That makes sense.
You can tell it just kind of clicked for Katia and that
Yeah.
moment.
I would assume, considering you appear to be a native of this land, at one point you cried out for help and were answered in a way you did not expect.
Yes, that is correct.
Based on that nature, you would have been in conversation most likely with the taker and keeper of secrets, Shah Anat. A dangerous one, but for different reasons. If any dark power was to escape from here, they would be one of the lesser problems. And you, Greed, what power brings you forth? Actually, and you, Tiefling, because he doesn't know your name. Because you've not introduced yourself as a group yet.
I suggested it earlier.
Yep, but nobody took you up on it.
Well, first of all, it's not tiefling, it's greed.
Ah.
And
Greed by name and by nature, by any chance?
he doesn't say anything. Greed looks like he's like caught in the middle of saying something, but he just doesn't.
I can answer
Hmm.
that for you, Greed. They gave their name to me.
And what name did they give you?
It's been so many sessions, but it's the one that I was given in the dream sequence I had with them.
Did I give you a title or did I give you the name?
I think you gave me a name. It was like R or something. It was
Xantras.
Xantras. Yeah.
Hmm. The Kingmaker has caught you. Hmm.
So what?
The Kingmaker.
Yeah, that fits.
Yeah. Greed's just sheepish as fuck right now.
Hmm. A decision needs to be made here, one that I have to consider. For the safety of this land, and what's left of its people, and for the sanctity of this temple, the easiest route would be to eliminate the three of you. But that
Right.
would put myself in danger. Because the rest of you, I would imagine, would immediately unleash your full fury upon me.
I have promised
Yes.
even the Kingmaker that if he was to harm Greed, I would kill them.
Threatening one of the dark powers. Interesting. Yes, Misha?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't someone mention the name the Kingmaker in tandem with what's the Bone Mother? They were all powers around Strahd.
No, I don't believe so.
Didn't
Unless I'm...
didn't the Huntress mention something about her? It's
The Huntress might have mentioned the Kingmaker, but it might have been... they would have mentioned... yeah, they probably would have mentioned it perhaps in ties to greed specifically. But... And the Kingmaker wishes you to deliver Amber here. And a soothsayer has given you the key. And the soothsayer likely be one of the Vistani. Which would
Ava.
then a particularly close compatriot of the Seeker, one whose vision is quite clear of the future, though hard to interpret at times. But the Vistani are neither for Strahd and against Strahd, but they are against Strahd in ways that are technically for Strahd, depending on your perspective.
Well, this brings us back to the question you asked me about what I am. It was given to me. Perhaps
Exactly.
Perhaps that would answer your questions.
But without what greed carries, your item is useless. You see, your item, your amulet, holds a key to a very important chamber within this temple. A temple which holds the details of a ritual that, when combined with amber, could allow one to seal away a dark power again. We'd have to get them into a weak enough state and perform the ritual, but it would be a way to seal them. Though and yet... May I see the piece of amber that you carry, Greed?
Of course. He'll go into the bag of holding and we'll pull out the piece of amber. Oh, without selecting everyone on step.
And yet... How did you come across this? Do you know?
I was handed it off, I believe, right at the beginning of my travels.
Yeah, somebody gave you this to deliver.
It was just
And
a standard courier, from my understanding. Not exactly.
It seems that
out of the
the
ordinary.
Vistani are playing a very long game here. You see, Greed, that piece of amber you have is a piece of the one sarcophagi here that is broken. A missing piece.
And who exactly is that sarcophagi for?
That is for Vampire, the source of Strahd's power. And that is where we'll end tonight's session.
No fucking way!
He's called Vampire? Are you kidding me?
Oh god.
And that is where we'll end tonight's session. Join us Friday. No, join us tomorrow, sorry, for the Icewind Dale group. Join us Friday for the Temporal Tower. Join us Monday for the Jumping Junipers, and we will be back next Tuesday.
Oh my gosh.
Bye for now.
Bye.